And welcome to our very first Limitless Live. Now, the reason I want to do these is because I want to showcase as many of you as possible. And I approached Jodie and said, will you be my first person? And she was like, of course I will. So, Jodie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. So my name's Jodie Hazel. I'm a Reiki master teacher from Nottingham, and I've been wanting to work with Claire for a long time. I've been watching a lot of the Limitless stuff, and I joined, I think it was in June, and I've been taking part in a lot of the training, what's available, and it's really made me come on leaps and bounds. So I'm really interested in getting
Oh,
involved and networking with everybody.
bless you. So, let's learn more about you and your business.
Oh, oh.
Share with me what inspired you to start your business.
Sure. So it goes back some years now. I mean, I got trained in Reiki 8 years ago, and that's what I practice in now. But we're talking 20 years ago is probably when I first started to awaken to natural healing in general. So what happened was grandma, my nana and grandma both got diagnosed with Alzheimer's. But 20 years ago, I was caring for my grandma for about 5 years while I was doing my degree, and I just saw her health decline and decline and decline. And all I kept on hearing was from the GPs, oh, it's a hereditary, you're going to inherit this Alzheimer's. And I was completely like my whole soul told me, this isn't right. This isn't right. You don't have to decline like this. So what inspired me to start looking into the healing was watching my grandma deteriorate like that, kind of touched me that much. I started looking into diet and nutrition first, to be honest. That's what I first came trained in. And I started to make changes like green tea. I was incorporating matcha green tea into my life and changing into
Can't do matcha.
I'll be honest with you, my other half makes that face, but I've just bought him some stuff with mint in it at the moment, so we can drink it with the mint taste.
Okay.
But back to my health, I had asthma as a child, and I started drinking this matcha green tea. And I always used to get this chest infection. This time of year, actually, September, when it changed from summer to winter and winter to summer, I always got these chest infections and this asthma. And I started making other changes than, diet and nutrition. And I cured it. I went to the doctors. I've never had a chest infection since in 20 years. And it was like a childhood thing. And I went to the doctors and they did the peat flow chart and they said to me, yeah, you haven't got asthma anymore. And that was just by changing one thing. So the more things I looked into, like vitamin E and coconut oil, it kind of went from there for me, looking into natural healing, looking at alternative ways and ways to change.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of, it spiraled me onto this health and well-being path. And then I eventually found Reiki and energy healing and meditation, and everything I'm doing now on a daily basis is completely life-changing. So really that inspired me to then turn it into a business, because I knew, hang on a minute, there's more to this than meets the eye. This stuff's not taught, it needs to be taught. So that's really from back in the day, what made me go into it from the beginning.
So you mentioned your grandma
I did.
and you mentioned your husband. Did you and forcing him to drink matcha?
Yeah,
Under-
willingly now, but yes, it did start as a force.
What about other family members? When you started making these changes for yourself, oh, I saw you sigh then.
Yeah, because that's part some of the other questions we're going to go into is the challenges. Yeah,
So
everybody understood it. Not everybody understood my changes. They still don't now. And that's understandable because I am different. Like the person I was 20 years ago, I was very much not a sheep, but I was part of like the negative lifestyle, as I would call it
mhm.
now, where I was being uh what's the word where I was being created rather than being a conscious creator, if that makes
Okay.
sense. Now I feel like, because I understand the powers of the universe and yeah, all the universal laws, I now consciously create. But back in the day, I mean, there's no problem. Everybody was the same. We just get told what to do, and we kind of follow the sheep in a way in the herd. So yeah, when I started doing things differently, I triggered a lot of people. Let's put it that way.
And how did you deal with that? At any point, did it make you feel like, okay, I shouldn't be doing
Yes,
this?
yes, it did.
Really?
Yes, it did. But I think this is where the spiritual awakening comes into it for me, because I knew that I had a purpose. I knew that there was more to everything. And it's almost like a soul urge I felt that I had to continue with the journey. And to be honest, it's just got stronger and stronger and stronger throughout. So, and my health now, I look younger now than what I did 10 years ago. So it's completely
Oh,
changed,
amazing.
transformed my health, well-being, life, and abundance.
So those naysayers from back
Yeah.
then, how are they about what you do now?
A lot don't talk to me anymore. I'm
You
thinking of
still
family
don't.
members. Yeah, I'm thinking of a few family members, a few friends. But what happened was the universe kind of made room. They
Mhm.
made me realize, I don't know if you've seen the meme before. It says, you know, the universe has heard conversations you haven't and moved people out the way. That's what I feel like's happened. And now it's made way for the most beautiful connections I've had through my business, which are now a lot of my clients are now friends, to be honest.
So, and how, so from my
Yeah.
personal point of view, my partner is not spiritual in any way, shape, or
Okay.
form. He'll just go hum and take the mickey out of me if I'm going to a sound bath or anything like that. However, he's very
Okay.
open to like he knows how to look after his health. Well, he does drink the matcha because and he does the cold baths and things like that. So he's
Yeah,
very awake
yeah,
in that kind of sense, but very shut down to doing anything that I do in terms of energy.
I
Uh,
understand. Right.
how's your partner with that?
Okay, so he allows me to give him Reiki. He's actually attuned to Reiki as well because he let me practice on him before I started teaching. So he is actually open to it a bit more than what I probably make out sometimes. Although, if I start talking about conscious creation and things like that, it goes whoosh over his head. So there's some terminology I have to change, but he is 100% supportive of me. He
And
is.
does that make you feel more empowered? Does that
Yeah,
make you feel more empowered to stay to your truth and stay
yeah.
on your path?
Oh, he knows that it's like it's this way or the highway. So he knows this is the way I'm going. But obviously, we have a little girl. She's 5. I didn't realize this was going to come up today, but I feel like to say it now. And she was born attuned to Reiki. So she channels angels, she channels new symbols, what I've never been seen before. She channels some stuff what I've never seen before, and I'm trained in it all. So I feel like because me and my partner, we met when I was 17 years old, and we've been together 20 years, and we're not married because we don't believe in that, but we've just got stronger and stronger and stronger through the years. So I kind of think that like our souls were meant to be together, and we were meant to be parents. So even if he doesn't get the woo woo side, he accepts it anyway, which
It's
is
the
really
yin and the
fortunate.
yang, isn't it? It's the yin
Yeah,
and the yang, which makes
exactly.
congruency, which is perfect. That's what I
Exactly.
tell myself in my relationship anyway. So, what has been so far in your business? Because I
Yeah,
know that you're still growing and expanding into
that's
it
correct.
and feeling your way. What
Mhm.
so far has been your proudest moment?
Oh, the transformation of clients. So I've probably now worked with over 100 people one to one, I would say, and I'm got about 25 students. And there's some of them who, from when I first met them to say where they were with their health to where they are now, that they have transformed into completely better versions of themselves. And these are the ones who've become friends now. It's like a soul alignment. And the messages we send and the updates they give me, and just the frequency of like the contact I have of hearing how people are making better choices and changes in their lives through the inspiration of Reiki. I think that's the most incredible thing, watching, hearing, and seeing on a daily basis people transform in front of my eyes.
It is.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
feeling that if you've never done it before, that you don't really understand when you see those transformations.
100%. Yeah, and you get it. Yeah,
And
that's it.
I mean, you've touched on how you've transformed. Let's
Mm.
look forwards. Do
Yeah.
you have a big, crazy, audacious goal?
Oh, yes, I do.
Is it?
So, I mean, obviously, I haven't got a timeline, but it's really strange because my daughter sees this in her timeline too through meditation and stuff. So, it's clearly, I think, maybe something as a family what we're going to do. But we want to run and own and manage a energy healing centre abroad.
Oh, abroad.
And
Okay, where are we going?
Yeah, well, we don't know yet. This is the thing. I feel like we've got to wait 5 years for everything to kind of kabum and grow again. But wherever the new Atlantis is going to be in the world, I'm happy to come and set up ship.
Amazing. Just so the backdrop of what you're talking on at the moment on my PC
Yeah.
is abroad, and it's where my parents live. But I was just like, oh my God, there's the space just there for you to do.
Oh, well,
I can see it.
yeah, in my visions, I mean, even from like 5 years ago when I used to meditate, I used to see myself get out this pool with all these crystals in it, saltwater pool, and then see the vision of where the sun is and the rocks and then the sand. So I kind of, this same vision's come to me for years where I'm going to live. But
You'll
although,
stumble across it one day and you'll be like, this is it.
I
This
know,
is where we're meant to be.
yeah,
It might not be
exactly.
the first place you discover.
Exactly. So yeah, but what I want to do is be of service and hold, everything from retreats, events, but also offer free services as well for people who can't attend. The craziest part of the dream as well is I'm DJing in it, and I've always been like back in the day, a proper raver, in my 20s. So I like know the old school music, but it's like almost putting frequencies and codes into it for the
That's
future.
really sorry about the
The
dog
healing
barking.
bit. That's okay. No worries. My cat might come in and
Bit
jump.
of reality. I think that's because my son's probably it's inset day here.
Oh, it's Inset Day, right? Okay.
Yeah. So to get to your
Yeah.
big audacious, crazy vision and being the spiritual being that you are, what do you do on a day-to-day basis to consciously create this?
Yeah, great question. So it's mainly my daily go-tos is in the morning is grounding myself into I always say new earth energy. So I feel connection. So like from below and above. I always ask for protection as well before I even do anything. And it's affirmations, actually, I've really been into. I've been tapping in affirmations to
Okay.
keep me in that frequency. I do a lot of stuff where I'm starting to make it up, actually. And I'm thinking about doing a masterclass on EFT, kind of introducing it, what it is. And there's a lot of ways to clear yourself in 60 seconds, what I feel like I'm still working on myself, making up on a daily basis and playing with it. So I use different techniques, but it's all along the lines of affirmations, EFT, grounding, and breath work.
Oh, amazing. Did some breath work the other day with somebody in our community, actually, but it was a pre-recorded thing.
Ooh,
People don't understand the difference that breath work can have on their posture,
yeah,
their mental health. Can you explain a little bit more? Because I feel like breath work has always been there,
well,
clearly.
of course, because we
But
breathe.
I feel like it's had this,
Yeah,
I want to say resurgence, but I don't even think there was a previous surgence in the last 5 years with Wim Hof coming into the arena. Can you just explain to people why they should consider breath work in
yeah,
their day-to-day
yeah,
lives?
sure. So from my understanding is until the age of 7, we always breathe into our belly. Then around the age of 7 and 8, something traumatic happens, which makes us breathe into our lungs instead. So if you think about it, we're shallow breathing for years. And the way I've always considered it and how it's been explained to me is, for example, dogs shallow breathe and they've got a lower life expectancy. So the longer you breathe, the longer you live. And by breathing into your belly rather than your chest, it's a long breath. So what you're doing, you're just consciously allowing your breath to go where it should, into your second brain. And oxygen, we need this oxygen around our body. And unfortunately, with all the pollution in the air and everything, our levels aren't where they should be. So what we're doing by consciously breathing, because rather than using the word breath work, I call it conscious breathing because I use a lot of affirmations with it, like how I teach in Reiki is to get ourselves grounded before a session is to breathe in the energy and see it as almost a visualization.
Mhm.
So it straight away you're slowing down your breath by consciously visualizing it into your belly. By putting your hands on your belly and holding it for 3, what we're doing, we're triggering the vagus nerve in our body, which is the parasympathetic system, which helps our body heal. So we're either in fight or flight, or we're in rest and repair, one or the other. And what we're doing by doing like these conscious breathing, we're triggering our body into rest and repair so we can heal. And then we're also, by consciously doing it and using visualization, getting us in that grounded present moment. So really, it's got multiple benefits. It's not just
It
one.
really does.
And to start with, it might be hard just thinking of doing it, but I always explain to all my students, do it before bed at night because it helps you get to sleep. And even if you're just doing it then, you're doing it once a day. And then when you feel stressed through the day, by putting your hands back onto your belly and just allowing yourself to get in the moment for 30 seconds, the more you do it, it comes second nature.
Yeah.
So sometimes I know, especially through the pandemic, with the, pure anxiety, conscious anxiety, I was consciously doing it probably every hour to get myself back in the zone. And we all go through bad times and good times. And I do feel like it's a way just to reset, is the word, resetting. It's a
So
good
it's interesting you
reset,
say about before
yeah.
bedtime.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was taught, I mean, little side thing is unusual for me to go off track. A few years ago, I was introduced by somebody to a technique called, and I'm sure it's called, and somebody may correct me, Nadi Shodhana, and it's from Ayurveda. And
Okay.
so if I wake up in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
I will often do this, and I can't do it for long because it makes me go back to sleep. And it's to do with your nasal breathing.
Oh, is it
So
the,
you close what? So
yeah,
she said always start with your left one open. So you close it and you breathe up through your left and then down through your
right.
right, then up through your right and down through your left. And that's one full one. Well, if
Okay.
you try and do that, and she explained that it balances both halves of your brain, the hemispheres of your brain.
That's
If you
right.
try and do that for 2 minutes, I'm asleep by the end of it. So
Yeah.
if ever I wake up, that's a top tip for anybody
It is a great tip.
who wakes up in the middle of the night. Breathing,
Yeah.
breathing. I always think it's like breathing is key,
Yeah.
obviously to life, but learning all these ways to manage what
Yeah.
comes up in your day-to-day life as well
That's it.
through people who know what they're talking about, such as yourself. Then
It is like it's also finding what works for you, because that,
mm,
for me, I've never got on with the opposite nostril thing. I've always been, because I'm not great with left and right. I always get them mixed up. So for me, I'm like, especially in yoga sessions, I just get it all mixed up. So for my partner, he does the hands on the belly and the breathing in, and that's what gets him to sleep if he wakes up now, because he's
yeah,
actually listened to me.
it is absolutely trial and error, and it might
Yeah,
not be a breathing thing. It might
I
be doing a meditation or something that you can
grounding
put in your
also.
ears, anything like that, which when you've got somebody at the side of you, they may think you're a bit strange. So earpods always good. You've mentioned that you're a mum, Jodie, to
Yeah,
a beautiful 5-year-old girl who is very in tune by the sounds of it. And I know that soon you've got to go on the school run. So
yeah.
um, how do you balance or find, is there such a thing as balance in work and life?
Okay, that's a good question. Do you know where it all changed for me? So I knew when I had my daughter, it was completely full time, and I gave every bit of my time to them. When it got 30 hours, when she
The
got
funded hours.
yeah, I started going to nursery. Because I worked part time for the university, and then I had 2 days a week. Well, those 2 days were always demi days, and in the holidays, the demi days. But I get in term time 2 days a week now. So I've managed to use that time and create a whole business in that time, and it's worked out perfect. And then with support with my mum and my partner's mum, we do get childcare at the weekend if we need it to. But at the moment, she's not sleeping properly at night time. She's just refusing to want to sleep after the 6 weeks holidays, all out of a routine still. So I haven't had much time at night to myself, only like an hour. So it is about seasonal changing, and it is about mix and matching and kind of taking the time where you can,
It's
really.
about
So it
honoring
is
you.
a juggle.
It's about honoring yourself as well, isn't it? So, like you say, you might, by the time she's gone to sleep at the moment, you've got an hour. And in that hour, you probably really don't feel like doing your business. And it's
Sometimes.
about not allowing yourself to feel guilty about doing that. It's a
Exactly.
conscious decision that you're making, because
Yeah.
if you do work in that hour, you're
Yeah.
probably not going to go to sleep when you should be going to sleep. And it has that
Exactly.
knock-on effect. As it's that struggle of mum guilt, overwhelm of running the
Yeah,
business, the to-do list getting longer and longer. And how do you prioritize what you're going to be working on? If you've got 2 days,
yeah. That's such an
are you a journal, like a planning kind of girl?
I'm just about to get it out now. Demi decorated it for me. So I actually work, yeah, in fact, I think people like this. I actually work in the academic calendar. So from August to August. And that works for me because I don't know if you know the Galactic New Year's on the 26th of July. So,
I did
and
not know that. I know the Chinese New Year, but I didn't know
yeah,
about the galactic.
no, we have a Galactic New Year, and that's corresponding to the yin energy of the summer, and then in September the new terms starting.
Mhm.
So for me, I always allow myself the time to have in school holidays to do the mum stuff, and then I use diary management to be able to manage what my expectations are for the year, then break it down per month. Now that can change, and it's really important because actually last year when I first started doing this, I've just transferred my diary over with it being the September in August, and everything I wanted to achieve last year I did. And that's because I wrote it down. And this is what I keep telling everybody at the moment. You're more likely to achieve something if you write down. You're 80% more chance. 80% you have
More
more.
likely to achieve it.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Sorry,
yeah.
tongue-tied. More likely to achieve it if you write it down. So, because I write plan for the year, and then at night time, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for, and 1 thing I want to achieve the next day, and then I break it down for the week. So, say if I do have a difficult evening where Demi won't get settled down till 10 o'clock at night, which can happen, then it doesn't matter that I haven't achieved that thing because I can rewrite it and reset myself goals. So I think it's about not giving myself too much to do in a week as well. And it's about breaking stuff down and then every week kind of reanalyzing priorities. But by giving myself the 3 things I'm grateful for, then my achievement or then my intention, sorry, I think that keeps me in that good moment of not feeling stressed about anything I haven't done.
Is there always,
Hmm.
is you mentioned the retreat, is that always like the overriding goal for you to get to
Eventually.
that?
Yeah.
So that overrides all the other things that you're doing. Like,
I think
I don't know whether I was speaking to you or somebody else. I
yeah.
know you've done it on a TikTok, the book called Will It Make the Boat Go Faster?
Oh no, I've not heard of that one.
Had
Oh.
it for 10 years. And
Okay.
every time people talk about personal development, bear with me, I've got it on my
Yeah.
bookshelf.
So for me, it's more like a process. Like I'm starting off like I can't believe I've achieved what I've achieved already in this time. So now I'm ready for the next step of going online and having building an online presence. And then eventually the retreats will come
Yeah,
eventually. Yeah,
that's your big, crazy, audacious goal.
it
So
sure is.
this is the book, Will It Make the Boat Go Faster?
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
And it's written by a guy called Ben Hunt Davis and his co-author Harriet. But Ben was in the 2000 Olympic rowing team. I don't know if you can see that
Yeah,
photo.
yeah.
They went in as the underdogs, and for the 4 years before that Olympics,
Mm.
every decision they made, they had to ask themselves, will this make the boat go faster? So
Oh,
even from
see. Right.
snoozing their alarm in the morning, if I snooze this alarm, is that going to help the boat go faster? No, it's not. Get up out of bed and go training. If I eat this Mars bar, is that going to help the boat go faster? No. For 4 years, every single decision they had to ask
Wow.
themselves that question.
Now that's discipline.
We can apply that to business. Like
Okay.
when you've got that crazy, and this is one thing that I'll say to anybody, if you've got an intention, whether it's for the end of the week or whether it's for the end of the year or in 10 years' time, when you're procrastinating, when you're scrolling, just say, is
Mhm.
this making that boat go quicker?
Yeah,
No,
that's such a
it's
good
not.
technique.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I love that you've got the goals. I love that you do that daily. I'm rubbish. I like to plan,
Mm.
but I'm not good at sitting down at the end of the night and journaling and doing the gratitude list.
I tell you what, if I don't do it, Claire, sometimes at the weekends, I sometimes give myself more of a break. It's more Monday to Friday. If I don't do it when I wake up the next day, my head's more scattered. And I do it in the morning instead because I've forgotten. And as soon as I've done it, I feel clearer.
Yeah.
I can feel a difference in my vibration from doing it and not doing it. So now it's almost like I want to feel better and want to feel organized. So it's my motivation.
So if you are ever do not achieve what you set out for the whole week, for example, how do you manage that for yourself? How do you manage those emotions of feeling like you're on the back foot?
It's funny you should say that, because I'm actually going abroad in the morning, and I sat last night with my diary and re-managed my October. Number one, I've received a lot of bookings and clients, so I've had to remanage my diary anyway, which is a great reason to do it. And number two, obviously, I had lots of different ideas come up this week for the coaching session, so I've rearranged a lot of stuff. And now I feel like, oh, even though I know I've got outstanding stuff I haven't completed this week, it doesn't matter, because I've rearranged it for the best higher timeline of what I can achieve when I'm back. So I think it's just about sitting down and planning, because when you write everything down and then prioritize it and rearrange it, you still know it's going to get done.
Yeah.
So don't worry. And that's what I told myself last night. Don't worry, it's going to get done. Go and enjoy yourself and come back with a clearer mind.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So is that the one thing that you can't live without for your business or in your life? Is it
Yes.
your journal?
Yeah, I'd say diary management, yeah, it is the biggest
And you're
thing.
a pen and paper girl, not a digital.
No, I'm pen and paper, yeah. Although I can do a bit of both.
I was going to say, I have to do
Yeah.
both, because
Yeah.
if I'm out and about and somebody says, oh, can you do this time? I need to know what's in my diary. So if I'd only rely on that,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
have to do digital and then put it into my paper.
Okay.
But for to-do lists, it's got to be paper.
Yeah, yeah. I love the whole crossing off. And I actually then, what I did last night, I actually reflected on the last month, which has only been a month and a bit since I've been using my new diary, and looked at everything I put at the beginning of on the first of and this is one thing to do. What you should do is give yourself a bit of credit, because I looked back 6 weeks, looked at what my intentions were then, and I've completed half the list. I'm like, wow, I've actually done it. I haven't been procrastinating. Yeah, I might have had a few nights where I thought I can't be bothered, but you're allowed that time for
It's true
self-care.
though, isn't it? When you write it down,
Yeah.
subconsciously, it's in there
I've
when you've
achieved
written it down.
more doing this technique. I have, because I've been in business for 8 years. I've achieved more in the last year and a half than I have the whole 8 years since having the system.
Okay, that's amazing. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
And
So give it a try.
let us know if you do. It's just gone incredibly dark in here. I've got a massive grey cloud just over. I'm sure it wasn't like this when we started. I just shared with you that book. Do you have a book or a podcast that you would recommend to people?
To be honest, when I thought about this question, I was going to say the Limitless Growth Hub, because I feel like there's some of the stuff in there because I've invested a lot of time and money in different projects over the years, and they've all haven't worked, which is great for experience. But when there's a few things what I've learned in the Limitless Growth Hub, but she's just been that bit, that puzzle piece, what's put things together for me. And I'm like, right, okay, this is on another level now, because now I feel like I've upgraded. And then I was thinking about myself, because when I joined in June, I thought of myself in July. Some of the stuff I was planning to do is completely different to what it is now, because I feel like it's upgraded my business in terms of the tech side to the manifesting side as well. Just with, yeah, there's too much content to even just pinpoint right now, but I would say, I've only done probably a third of the training so far, and that's only that's how much I've done, because literally I've had to go back and redo them, because there's that much content and there's so much stuff that's valuable in there. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, it's
For
changed my life.
somebody whose love language is words,
Yeah, yeah.
that means a lot. So thank you for that. However, give us a book as well.
A book as well, I know. I'm trying to think. I'm not much of a reader. This is
Are
the
you not? Do
thing.
you listen to any podcasts, fun or business related?
Okay, so the people I do follow, it's quite spiritual, who have
Yeah.
changed my lives, is Eldora and Saman. Okay.
Eldora.
Yeah, Eldora Rose and Saman. They're a couple, and they're on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel. They also have like a membership as well with their healings.
Yeah.
But they're clear channels, very clear channels, and they're building up like a whole new earth school. And they do a lot of free healings, and they do a lot of channeling work to kind of give you an update on what's happened with the energy. They're the people who are my go-tos, who I listen to.
Awesome. See, I've learned. I will go and try and find them, or
Yeah,
maybe you can send me the link and I
I
can
send
pop
a
it
link.
underneath
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Because they'll be like, El who?
Yeah.
El Rose? No, Eldora Rose.
Eldora Rose and Saman, yeah, they're a couple, and like they do a lot of land healing. They go around the world, do New Earth festivals, and do land healing and stuff. So it's very inspirational, like what they're doing, because it just that the roots of the New Earth's being planted. Let's put it that way. You can see everything they're doing. It's amazing. Yeah.
Right, we're coming to the end now. So if you could, this is just a question that I don't think you're expecting. If you could work with one person, dead or alive, who's
Oh,
the first person that's dropped into your head?
I don't know. I think it'd be my ancestors.
Would it
Yeah, it'd be my.
change your ancestral DNA?
I think I'd like to know, yeah, more about like, yeah, the past and the mission, what I'm on now, which clearly me and my daughter are, and I think we're going to work together in the future as well. So I'd like to know a bit more about the lineage and what's happened before in the past and how we've come here, because we're all just working it out on a daily basis, right, Claire? And kind of figuring this stuff out and following our journeys and feeling good about, helping people and thinking there's more to life. Like there's more to this. I know I'm helping people, but we can make this bigger, right? And how and what is the mission? So I'd like to know, yeah, like a lot more from my line, my lineage line.
Awesome. And finally, what would be your one piece of advice for somebody who's just starting out on their journey?
So I did write this down and I will read this out because it's a quote.
Okay.
And it's something from my challenges, what I've felt in the past by people having negative opinions about what I do. This is what changed it for me. So, if people are uncomfortable with you once you're starting to grow, then they're not your people. And I know it sounds a bit harsh sometimes, but
No,
if
I don't think it does. And I think that anybody who's, especially in the healing, the energy world, the kind of spiritual world, will resonate with that and will,
yes,
and we've all gone through it. And it's not even that you're cutting people out your life,
yeah,
it's just that you're vibrating at a different level. And
exactly,
that, and I
yeah,
don't want to say we're leaving them down below at all, because that sounds really bad. But when you're not resonating on the same level, then it kind of feels like you've got nothing in common. It doesn't mean that you don't care, that you don't want to interact with them, and you probably
no,
will do in the future. It's just
yeah,
you're not as close as you used to be, perhaps.
yeah, yeah, and that's it. And there was another quote I saw recently as well saying, if people, it was about valuing, like when you realize that somebody doesn't value you, then don't give them the value, don't go chasing. Because I think I've delayed my growth by chasing people who didn't value me because they were always my people. And now it's like,
Rather
actually, they're
than
not my people
attracting.
anymore. Yeah.
Awesome. Jodie, where can people find you?
So Facebook and Instagram and TikTok as
What
well.
are your handles?
My handles are Natural Vibes 144 on Instagram and Natural Vibes Kiss on Facebook.
Put them. I was going to say I'll put them in the show notes, but this is not a podcast, so I'll just put them in the comments below.
Yeah, sure.
Um, yeah, so thank you so much for being my first Limitless Lives. I'm going to call them Limitless Lives because we are live, but it's about your lives.
Yeah, I like that. That's wonderful. Yeah,
Just
love
came to me the other day, so that's why we're calling them that.
it.
Thank you so much, Jodie. Enjoy your holiday
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me as well, Claire.
and connect with people in the group. If you're watching this, please reach out and connect with Jodie too. Thank you, darling.
Thanks all.